I am Susan Inglis, and I am so pleased to be invited to talk with you by ASID Michigan. So thank you, ASID Michigan, for having me here to talk about selling sustainable solutions. This is a CEU, and you'll see the number on the screen, and we will be reporting your attendance, but you might want to jot down that number for your own records. And I do want to hear from you with your questions and comments, but I've got you all on mute now. And so as you have questions, please put them into the box on the right-hand side of your screen, and I will respond to them at the end of this presentation. I am going to start by giving you a bit of an overview of our organization. I see from the list of audience members that many of you are familiar with us, but so I'll just do this very quickly. We are in our 15th year now. And as the beginning, Sustainable Furnishings Council members include companies that are involved in residential furnishings in all sorts of ways. So designers like yourselves, but also manufacturers of all kinds of products, stores, etc. And what we do as an organization is help these now nearly 400 member companies reduce their environmental footprint, and we help consumers find the more eco-friendly products and services that they prefer. We serve members and the industry at large, and it is through our Sustainable Furnishings Education Fund that we're serving the industry at large with things like this educational programming and our Green Leaders course, which is a certificate course and also carries 6 CEUs. So if you're interested in the kind of thing we're talking about today, I invite you to get involved by joining and by taking our Green Leaders course. As you know, sustainability is an umbrella term, and there are many issues that fall under this wide umbrella, all of which are interrelated and which have to do with taking care of ecosystems on our planet and the communities that depend upon those ecosystems and the economies that support those communities. As it happens, the furnishings industry is directly related to any of these sustainability issues you can think of. We are a global manufacturing industry, so we are using burning a lot of fossil fuels as we run our factories, which are run on electricity that is most often generated by burning fossil fuels, and as we transport raw materials and finished goods all around the world, resulting in lots of CO2 emissions. Much of what we make is of wood. We are adding more value to the wood resource than any other industry, so we have a large responsibility for halting deforestation. We also have a large responsibility for being responsible about harmful chemicals that compromise the quality of our indoor air environments and also are sometimes absorbed other than respiratorily. So there are these hazardous chemicals that are common in furnishings. Of course, there are hazardous chemicals in many sorts of products, but these in furnishings are ones that we can take particular responsibility for. Many of these chemicals are used in textiles. It's a particularly chemical intensive industry. And similarly, leather tanning causes a lot of pollution. So these pollutants compromise health in workers and in communities around where factories are. And in the case of cotton specifically, there is a lot of forced labor used, and that compromises the quality of life for people in those communities. So we have a responsibility to understand all these things about our supply chains and to make furniture that is not going to be so promptly thrown away, as a large, 6% of our landfills in this country are full of furniture. 6% is furnishings, and that is a lot for something that should be a durable good, and we'll be discussing that a bit more in this hour. So we work various initiatives to address our concerns about all these sustainability issues, including the What's It Made Of initiative. And I want to be sure to mention the wood furniture scorecard, because we are making assessments now and will be publishing these assessments of retailers, of their policies for sourcing wood furniture. We'll be publishing this in October. So I hope that you'll be keeping a sharp eye out for that. We think of sustainability in these 6 different aspects, and our work, including the working groups that our members participate in, is around these 6 different areas: reducing CO2 emissions, maintaining health and wellness, ensuring social equity, reducing waste, managing water, and incorporating circularity. For y'all, for us in today's conversation, it's important that we be able to keep these things in mind in our sales conversations and talk about them, have them in mind so that we can talk about them when we are having sales conversations. And having sales conversations is what we are going to be talking about. There are several aspects of this. It is about selling solutions, so it is based on what your customer or your client is interested in and is shopping for. But there are solutions that are going to build your business and build your brand and build your own reputation within your business and within your community, as well as serving the needs of your clients. So to start with, I just want to discuss a tiny bit that whoever you are as a designer and as a salesperson, you're going to want to consider some strategy for personal branding. And if you are a LEED accredited professional, or if your company is a member of Sustainable Furnishings Council, or if you are a green accredited professional by having taken our entire Green Leaders course, you are going to want to let that be known in your community and in your professional circle. So you would do that with your web presence, with your promotions, with your, you can do that in various ways depending on how you run your business. But the point is for you to be aware of who you are in your company and in your professional community. If your business has a showroom, you might have a promotion strategy that involves sales. If it does not have if your business does not have a showroom, you might have a promotion strategy that involves participating in special events and participating with your professional societies like ASID. You position yourself well when you think about sustainability as you think about your promotion strategy. So remember Earth Day, that's a good day to always do something around, but there are other days that you can piggyback on. There is a plastic-free day coming up, for instance, and even though you're not selling much in the way of plastic products, this is a theme that you can attached to. So even though we're talking about sales today, I wanted to start by mentioning something about personal branding and promotion. Selling in our industry is a consultative process. We do engage in consultative selling. And consultative selling involves these 3 simple steps. No matter what you're selling, you have to initiate contact. That is, start the conversation. Then you have to overcome any objections your client or potential client might have to working with you. And then you want to create some sense of urgency so they work with you rather than competition, and so that they start more immediately. So these are the things that you're going to, stages you're going to move through no matter what you're selling. And what we're going to do now is go through these stages thinking about selling sustainable solutions. So we're going to spend this time thinking about questions that can come up in each of these stages. In initiating conversation, for instance, questions that might come up around selling sustainable solutions is, should I wait for the clients to ask for it? And what should I call this sustainability stuff? And how should I bring up the subject? And who's going to be interested? And the first and most important question and answer is no. You should not wait for your clients to ask. When you offer eco attributes in your services and in the products that you're offering your clients, you are offering the latest thing. You're offering the choices that are most important in our times. This illustration, though, encourages us to take a page from the tech book. Technology companies do not wait for you to ask for an innovation. Rather, they keep a sharp eye on what consumers are responding to among the many options that are on offer, and then they offer more of what appears to be appealing. We know this well from the way our Google searches work, you know. But notice that it was that how our computer screens got to be the way they are now started with Nokia making it possible to text, and then BlackBerry coming up with a better way to text using some icons, and then Apple coming up with improved icons and with a touch screen. And now we have all manner of icons and touch screen on all manner of computers. So though you may find that your clients are beginning to ask for eco attributes, and especially those of you who are, any of you designers may be approached by clients who have a particular health concern and are coming to you because they are interested in your expertise in sustainability and maintaining health and wellness. But you should not wait for clients to ask. They are depending on you to offer what is important. And when you start that conversation, you do want to be mindful of how you start the conversation. Choose your words carefully. Well, as y'all know, we have done consumer research over the years, we've done research almost every year since 2008, and we've got a new report out now. And one of the things that we ask in our survey is what term people prefer, because as we have noted, sustainability is an umbrella term. Lots of things fall under that umbrella, and for describing that general area, lots of terms are used. And so we simply ask, which term do you prefer? And excitingly, this year, for the first time, sustainable is the majority preferred term. We think that means people are actually understanding what this stuff means now. And we think that especially the last year has helped people have time to think about sustainability. We feel more connected to the rest of the world, and this is now the preferred term. However, I do want to point out that environmentally safe and eco-friendly are also very important terms, because we want our homes to be safe and friendly, and because they are very easy to understand. Now, it's important for me to mention that these terms are general terms to refer to a general area, and when you're using these terms, you should be able to point to specifics, tell why you are using that term. The Federal Trade Commission actually has guidelines that mandate that you be able to get specific when you are making a sustainability claim. So be sure you're prepared to do that. Oh, I forgot I had another line there. So I've got on these slides, I've got little suggestions for ways to use these, ways to answer these questions. And there it is there. So how should you bring up the subject? You should bring it up in the course of your conversation. This is consultative selling. These people have come to you because they're interested in a service, interested in having their room done, their house done, something like that. And they are in a position to talk with you in some detail about how they feel. You're going to be finding out what's important to them in their lifestyle. And if they don't happen to mention that sustainability is important to them in their lifestyle, you can say, when they respond to something you're showing them, you can say when it has an eco attribute in addition. For instance, you can say that this fabric is of durable construction and it's made right here in the US or something like that, you know. So you can introduce these topics that we know from our research people are interested in. And there are plenty of them to introduce. There are lots of things that you can talk about. You can also talk about, and I recommend you do this, talk about your own business and whatever you might be doing. So if you're in a store, has your store gone to having a water cooler and cups to offer clients water instead of having plastic water bottles? Has your store got a very efficient HVAC system that not only filters the air in a very clean way, but also runs efficiently using less energy, that kind of thing? So be prepared to talk about what eco attributes there are in the products and about your company, just in a very conversational way as you go through this conversation about what their needs are. Now, frequently people think, oh, it's just the young, educated people that we should talk with this about, but no. Anybody you are having a sales conversation with could be interested, and you should assume that they are, because our latest research shows that 97% of furniture consumers would choose eco-friendly products and services, provided, of course, that they like the style and the prices within their budget. But 97% of them are interested. And this also goes to how concerned different age groups are about sustainability issues. We ask, for instance, about how concerned they are about global warming, and you can see here that whether they are male or female, a little younger or a little older, a little richer or not quite much so, they are equally concerned. So the graph does not change with age and income level. So you're going to have this conversation with everybody. And after you've started the conversation, you're going to see what they might bring up. You're going to find out, and these are the things that might come up in this stage of handling objections. How important are sustainability issues? Don't eco-friendly products cost a lot more? And what does it say about other products if we're just offering some eco-friendly products? So to start on this, how important is sustainability to your clients? This is another place where we have seen a dramatic jump in our research recently. And our research, I'll be sure you know, is among furniture buying consumers. So we surveyed 500 people, all of whom have spent at least $500 on some kind of furnishings products or services in the last 12 months. And they all own their own home. They're between the ages of 30 and 60. And they all have at least $50,000 a year in annual income. So they are the kind of consumer that would be seeking design services and would be buying furniture. And that is important to us that we target it that way. Well, this year, as always, style is the most important consideration when someone's choosing a piece of furniture or design services. Quality that will last a long time is also always very important, and a fair price, more important than being on sale or a promotional price. A fair price is what people are looking for. And then this year, made in a way that does not harm the environment is the fourth most important consideration when consumers are choosing furniture products. It used to be down there with brand name or with immediate availability or ease of access. But now it is the fourth most important thing after style, quality, and price. And it's interesting to me to note on this that, we think in retail that what's important is location, 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 but store close to our home is decreasing in importance. And I think this last year has had a lot to do with that, as those of us who might not have been so used to shopping online have become all the more used to shopping online. And that is going to have implications for retail going forward, and that holds lots of possibility for sustainability as stores enter the circular economy and start offering more services like repair services. The most important thing though here is that sustainability is important to your clients, and I'll further point out that people are expecting their furniture to last longer now than in recent surveys. So most people, 67% of people expect their furniture to last at least 10 years. So they expect to keep that piece for at least 10 years. And I think that might be important to y'all as you're designing interiors for them. So what are people worried about? People are worried that eco-friendly products are going to cost more. Nearly half of the people that you are talking with are worried that eco-friendly products are going to cost more. And furniture and design services are things that people do not buy very often. We do not go to the furniture store every week like we go to the grocery store every week. So these are purchases that we make less frequently, and therefore we are a bit more afraid of making mistakes. And we humans are a herd animal. We have what's called herd mentality. And like with other herds, herd animals, we want to be assured that we are doing what most of our kind are doing. So in your sales conversations, you can speak to that by saying things like, many people are choosing these eco-friendly options that I can tell you about, or something like that. I find that sustainability is more and more important to my clients. You can provide reassurance by referring to what most other people are doing or are thinking about. And you can also be reassured yourself by knowing that most people think that choosing eco-friendly products and services is the right thing to do. And 62% of people that we surveyed this year want to learn more. So even if they're expecting the product is going to cost more, they are very open to your telling them about it. And even if it costs more, they're likely to think it's worth it if you can explain to them why it's worth it. And they are going to be inclined to think it's the right thing to do to choose this particular product. Many of you will realize that, in fact, eco-friendly products don't always cost a lot more. Now, certified products, certified wood, certified textiles, that does cost more. Certification has to be paid for. It's an audit service. Somebody has to pay for visiting the forest so that the forest is certified. Somebody has to visit the wood lots and look at the inventory system that they are managing and make sure they're doing it properly. And those things do cost more. So certified wood or certified textiles are going to add an upcharge. It does not always mean that the whole piece of furniture costs a whole lot more, because if it is a certified wood frame of a sofa, that frame itself is not a very large percentage of all the costs that go into making that sofa. So it isn't to say that that sofa is going to cost 10% more, but the frame of that sofa might cost 10% more, and that will impact the final price a little bit, but I'm saying this to point out that it might not be quite as much as you think. And then there are more eco-friendly choices and materials that do not cost any more. Plantation grown wood does not cost any more than non-plantation grown wood. And sometimes people choose rapidly renewables like bamboo panels, and those don't cost any more. So in in those kinds of hard goods, you do not have to end up spending a whole lot more. In cushioning, the latex foam and the down cushioning are going to cost more, but these are our options that we in our industry know as luxury options first, and then second, we see them as for the eco attributes that they have. There are, however, of course, biohybrid foams that are a combination of polyols that come from petroleum sources and then that come from plant sources. And that hybrid of polyols makes a foam that doesn't cost any more and is actually what is being used most often in our industry now. The low VOC finishes don't cost any more. And a more eco-friendly choice in dyeing leathers doesn't cost any more. So there are specifics that your vendors can tell you about that will not cost any more. Just to continue on this encouragement for you to discuss the options, we're looking here at some trends. What do people feel, or what are the trends and what people feel when they hear a product is claiming to be environmentally safe? notice that most people have a positive reaction. That it's half of them here that are having some kind of positive reaction. And 70% think it's the right thing to do. 63% want to learn more. 31% think it's from a good company. And this is another number that we've seen growing dramatically over the years. 31% say it would be their first choice. And you'll see that we're comparing to 5 years ago here in these two different colors of blue bars. So do discuss those options. And then the final stage in consultative selling is creating urgency. So creating some urgency so that they will act now and buy something from you now. And so the questions we address in this section is whether it really is a big deal right now, and whether it really can make a difference, and what does the future hold? Is there any hope for the future? And is there much possibility in selling sustainable solutions for growing your business, for instance? So this question probably keeps more salespeople from bringing up sustainability than any other questions. People get really worried if they're not 100% eco, and if they don't understand 100% about sustainability. Sustainability is complex, and you are not likely to understand 100%. Sustainability is complex, and we always have to rely on our own personal values and what we promote, and speak to our clients' personal values. So the big deal is to offer choices. But I'll tell you that this fear about whether it's hypocritical is a concept that is called invalidation, and it is a concept that has been around in sales trainings for a very long time, and you do want to overcome that by realizing how powerful it is just to offer choices. It's all about those offering those choices. The grocery store is offering organic bread beside non-organic. They're offering you choice. They're offering more and less toxic cleaning products on the same shelves. That's offering you choice. And when you go shopping for a car, which again is less often than you go shopping for groceries, but you are going to see that, of course, that dealer has a variety of options. It's not all hybrid and electric cars they're offering, but you will find that the electric and the hybrid options they have are the ones that they have out in front in their showroom. So you want to be reassuring and make sure your client knows they can choose what they want, choose what suits them, but you do put the more eco-friendly choice there for them, and you do well to put it front and center, because, as I said, 97% of them would choose eco provided that they like the style and the prices within their budget. So does it really matter? Does it really matter that we talk about sustainability? I will tell you that yes, it really matters. It really matters. We are looking here at all the cumulative CO2 emissions in our atmosphere from early in the Industrial Revolution. And that arrow is not exactly correctly placed because we are just past 2020 now instead of on the other side of 2020. But what we're looking at here is CO2 in the atmosphere, and we see the what has actually happened in the black, and we see what is projected to happen, and it could happen at different rates. It depends upon us. So CO2 emissions in the atmosphere are going to continue to concentrate. The planet is going to continue to warm. And how quickly it does that depends upon us. You know, we need to decrease CO2 emissions by 80% below 2005 levels in order for life as we know it to continue. We have to keep CO2 emissions below that 2 degrees centigrade threshold that that will change life on the planet so that it's dangerous, and the climate changes will be dangerous to us and a threat to life as we know it. So my recommendation is actually that each of us think in our own businesses about what it would take for us to reduce our CO2 emissions 35 to 45%, the 2015 emissions levels, how much energy we were using in 2015, can we make that reduction by 2030? If so, there is hope for the world, but it is really a big deal that we each do all we can to reduce emissions dramatically and immediately so that life can continue for our children and grandchildren. Our world is, in fact, in pretty serious trouble. What you're looking at here is a video of weather anomalies. So this is the way the planet has warmed up since early in the Industrial Revolution. Early in the Industrial Revolution. And you can see that there are more hot weather events than cooler than normal weather events. And it is, that is what we are going to see accelerating. So thinking about our whole home, about all aspects of how we design, about everything that we put in our homes, all of that is necessary to making changes that sustain a healthy future. And that, of course, might make you wonder if we can make any difference in this at all. And the answer is yes, we can. We can make a difference. We have faced as a people other large problems before, and we have been able to make a difference in addressing those problems. For instance, chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, in our atmosphere have made a hole in the ozone layer. And scientists knew this was happening, but they got the word out into the popular press. And when it came out into the popular press that there is a hole in the ozone layer over Antarctica that's the size of Texas, consumers, we got very, very concerned and said to our governments, how could you let this happen? How did you let this happen? And promptly, the US and most other countries under the Montreal Protocol banned CFCs. They still exist in some countries, but that did make enough of a difference that that hole in the ozone is beginning to close up. Similarly, with lead, we've known that it's poisonous for at least 100 years, and we did outlaw it in 1971 with stepped up removal from various products starting in 1971 and to be completed by 1978. So over those years, we did see a lot of reduction in that particular toxin. And we've seen it with other kinds of products. The most dramatic, the most quick change, the fastest change that we've been able to implement was with dolphin safe tuna. Dolphin are shy animals and they like to swim beneath schools of fish where it's a little shaded and dark. And so fishermen have always known that if you see schools of certain fish, they're probably dolphin under there who are chasing the fish. So tuna is one of those kinds of fish that dolphin like to chase and swim under. And fishermen then see the dolphin and use that as a marker for catching the fish. Well, inevitably, they catch a few of the dolphin. And when an investigative reporter in the 1980s revealed this with a documentary that went on television networks around the world, within the space of just a couple of days, fishing dolphin in this way was stopped with this dolphin safe campaign, because the boat owners, responding to consumer concern about a dolphin being caught instead of the tuna, the boat owners, or along with the tuna, the boat owners presented the tuna companies presented the boat owners with a contract saying that they must avoid catching those dolphin, and they did start fishing in different ways. So that happened in just a couple of days, and that is one of the stories we draw on for hope, for encouragement. There is also huge opportunity that I want to point out. I suggest that we take a cue from the Chilean solar market, which is a huge success story thanks to policy decisions in that country. The solar market was slow to take off there, as you saw in those first couple of bars, but as you can see here, it really took off once it did take off. And so anybody who had invested in solar in those early days has been reaping tremendous benefit. And that is the kind of opportunity that we see now here as we are set for an economic recovery that finds solutions to environmental problems instead of causing them. And I really think that's what we're going to be seeing over the next few years. So I suggest that you be concerned about sustainability issues because the planet is in so much trouble, but I suggest that you choose sustainability for a couple of other reasons. It will make you feel better to be doing something, and it will make you feel better to grow your business in this way, and it will make your customers feel better that you are growing your business in this way. So that is the main point about selling sustainability, is we are in the business of selling services and products. And if we're going to be selling stuff, we will sleep better at night when we know it is stuff we can feel good about being with. So with that, we'll just run through a few of the eco attributes that you can be selling. So in Casegoods, you want to look for solid wood rather than composite wood in most cases, and look for wood that is certified or is reclaimed. Make sure with that device that you are not inadvertently contributing to deforestation. In the adhesives that are used and the finish that is used, look for low VOCs. So the glues should be low formaldehyde. The finish might be water-based or certified for low VOC. If there are metals in this product, like the metal pulls here, they are probably recycled metal. Most of the metal we use in our industry is. And you can look for local manufacture. Looking for local manufacture is always a good idea. In upholstery, look for a frame that is made from certified or reclaimed wood. The springs, like other metal in our industry, are probably made from recycled metal. Look for an upholstery fabric, a cover that is organic or at least a natural material. In your cushioning, I would suggest latex, and latex with a down over it, but down does cost a lot more, and recycled polyester fiber fill is a much cheaper option, so that might be what you want to look for instead. And look for local manufacture, which you're going to find in mattresses no matter where you are, because they are made in lots of different places. In mattresses, if there's a frame, you're going to want it to be certified wood, and you're likely to find some recycled metal in the springs, and there are lots of good options in pure natural latex. Note that it should be pure natural latex. The mattress can be called a latex mattress when it is as little as 10% latex, and that does not serve you. So look for pure natural latex and other pure natural materials going into making your mattress. So with that, y'all, I want to open it up to your questions and comments. So send them in through the little chat box on your right. Let's see. Somebody wants the CEU number again. Okay, I'll go back to the beginning. Here is that CEU number again. Any questions or comments? Okay. Well, let's see. Hasna, I think you are on. Yes, you are on. Maybe I'll unmute you in case you want to make any comment, because I do really appreciate y'all having had me here today. Looks like no particular comments. So, well, there's Hasna.
Yes, I just want to thank you so much for participating in the session today. It's always a pleasure to have you. It was very informative, and I was listening. I was so interested to listen from the beginning till the end, and I wish like the type of those sessions can be maybe teaching in young ages. We don't have to wait to be designers to contribute in such events. I mean, like, it's very, very beneficial and very informative. I feel like the whole session, I need to do something more than just convincing my clients to buy the right type of furnishing. I mean, like, we need to do something a lot bigger. Of course, we do appreciate that, and we now we have a wide majority of clients. They know exactly what to get, and they like to help the environment and so on. But I mean, like, we need to start in a wide scale to teach and to help our environment. I mean, you got me so excited though.
Good. You're right. Yeah. We do need to raise awareness and spread the word. And so I appreciate your doing that. I appreciate all of you being part of that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure.
And I hope that we will look forward to being in touch again. I hope that y'all will join us for other programming. And let me know if you have any questions. Have a good
For sure. You too.
Bye now.
Bye.